Hello, my name is Kathy Sorrow and I will be leading you in a mixed level slow vinyasa flow practice to cultivate harmony and well-being and maybe even some balance in the body. So go ahead and find yourself in a comfortable seat and close down your eyes. Start to focus on your breath. And as you inhale, grow nice and tall, as if one vertebrae is stacked on top of the other, maybe like a stack of coins. Filling your belly all the way up to your collarbone with an inhale. Maybe take just one more sip of air and exhale completely. Breathing in, filling your entire abdomen and chest. And exhale completely. Start to notice how you're feeling. Maybe notice anything that you've brought with you to your mat from earlier in the day and let that go. Notice if you are holding any place or clenching. Maybe your brow is furrowed. And I invite you to soften in that space. Harmony can be described as accepting things just as they are right now. Breathing in acceptance for yourself just as you are right now. Keep up that breathing. And if you'd like to set an intention for your practice, go ahead and do that now. It can be anything. Maybe it's to become more resilient. Maybe it's just to be thankful for this generous present moment, or just to accept things as they are. Taking a few more rounds of those deep, full breaths. Drop into your body. Throughout the practice, I just invite you to notice. And go ahead and open your eyes. And on your next inhale, arms rise above your head, palms touch. Exhale, left hand finds the floor, right arm reaches up and over, finding a side bend here. Breathing in, opening up that right shoulder, maybe gaze is underneath the right elbow. And if this feels good, stay here, but if you would like to take a few arm circles first back, just creating a little bit of movement. And then reverse. Breathing into that right side body. Take an inhale here as you reach your right arm up and over. Really root down in that right sit bone. Breathing into that space that you feel sensation. And release. Inhale, arms rise. And exhale, side bend to the right. Opening up that left shoulder, gaze is underneath that left elbow. And if you'd like to stay here, that's fine. Or maybe you'd like to add those arm circles. 3 going in one direction, and then 3 going in the opposite direction. Release that, reaching the left arm up and over. Make sure you're rooting down in that left sit bone, feeling all that space in your left side body. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, left hand comes behind your left hip. Right hand comes across your body. Breathing in, crown of the head grows tall. And breathing out, twist a little more deeply. And breathe. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, twist the opposite direction. As you inhale, grow tall. And exhale, twist a little more deeply. Preparing to move between both of those sides, one twist to the other. Inhale, reach through the center, reach for the sky. Exhale, twist to the left. As you exhale, inhale to the center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Finding some movement in the spine. Finding some flexibility. Early in practice, exhale, come down. Bring both the soles of the feet together in front of you, the butterfly shape. Maybe your heels are set more away from you, maybe they're closer in, whatever feels best to you. Coming up onto those sit bones, really growing tall here. Take an inhale here. Maybe your hands are on your shins, maybe they're on your ankles, maybe they're around your toes, whatever feels best to you here. Grow tall. Exhale, hinging at the hips, folding forward, heart reaches forward. Keeping a flat back here. And then once you can't fold any further, just start to drape over your legs. Let your head and neck go. Breathing in all up and down your spine, and notice where you feel sensation. Maybe you have a little tug here and there. Wherever there's tension, wherever there's sensation, breathe into that space. On your next inhale, come to rise and find your way into a tabletop shape. Your joints are stacked, your wrists are directly below your shoulders, and your knees are directly below your hips. Your spine is in a neutral place. You're hugging your belly into your spine. Neck is in line with the spine. On your next inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, lift the crown of your head. Find your cow shape here. You're pressing into the mat with your fingertips as well as the heel of your palm. And exhale, round the back. Draw your belly button to your spine. Let your head and neck go. Feel like you're pressing through the mat. This is your cat shape here. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the tailbone, cow. And exhale, round the back to cat. Now move between those two shapes at your own pace. Maybe you want to move a little more quickly, maybe a little more slowly. What does your body need? And do that. On your next inhale, come back to that neutral spine. Make sure your joints are stacked. And extend that right leg long. Your right toes are tucked. And just shifting forward and back. Getting that nice, maybe calf stretch. Keep breathing. Coming back to center, hugging that belly in and up. Your hips are square. Lift your right leg. Your right foot is flexed and you're pressing into your right heel. Your right leg is engaged. Take another breath in. Reach your left arm forward, palm facing in, finding this balance shape. Keep breathing and hold this shape, working on your core, working on your shoulders, and come back to your tabletop. Maybe sway your hips from side to side, release that. Coming back to center, extend that left leg long, shifting forward and back. Getting a little movement in the ankle and stretching the bottom of your left foot and your calf. Come back to center, keeping that left foot flexed. Lift that left leg, pressing through that left heel. Right arm reaches forward. Inhale and extend long. Your gaze is down. Neck is in line with the spine. Hold here. Hips and shoulders are square to the mat. Finding your balance. Take one more breath. And exhale, find tabletop. And just move your hips from side to side. Maybe take another cat-cow, whatever feels best to you. Finding that neutral spine. On your next inhale, right arm sweeps high. And exhale, thread that right arm behind the left elbow. Take your right shoulder all the way to the mat. Bring your right cheek to the mat. Maybe you walk your left fingertips forward. And breathe here. Take a few rounds of breath, giving yourself permission to release. On your next inhale, place that left hand beneath your left shoulder. Right arm sweeps high. And exhale, come back to tabletop. Preparing for thread the needle on the other side. Make sure your joints are stacked. Inhale, left arm rises. Exhale, thread that left arm behind the right elbow. Left cheek finds the mat. Walk your right hand, your right fingertips forward. And relax. Take one more round of breath here. And place your right hand beneath your right shoulder. Left arm sweeps high, open up across the chest. Exhale, come back down. Tuck onto your toes, pressing into your hands. Your fingers are spread. Lift your knees off the mat, hovering table. Gaze is down just beyond your fingertips, between your hands. Engaging your core. Take one more deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, send your sit bones to the sky. Press your chest towards your thighs. Keep your knees kind of bent. This is our first downward facing dog of our practice. Keep your arms as straight as possible. You're pressing into the index finger and thumb of your hands, a little more than the rest. Your gaze is between your shins. Exhaling, let it go. On your next inhale, shift forward into a high plank shape. You may need to adjust your feet or your hands. Go ahead and do that, engaging that front body, hugging that belly in and up, pulling up onto your knees, pressing into the floor almost as if you were pressing through the mat. Hold here. Take another inhale here. And exhale, shift your hips back to downward facing dog. This time let's pedal out the feet. Bending one knee and then the other. Coming back to stillness. Inhale forward into that plank. We'll do that one more time, feeling strong. Exhale, send your hips high to downward facing dog. 2 rounds of breath here. Lower onto your knees. Take your knees wide, toes touch, sit back onto your hips. Forehead finds the mat, child's pose. Pressing into your hands, engage your arms, lifting those elbows off the mat. Really feeling that sensation in your shoulders. Bringing energetic awareness to your hands. So you spread your fingertips. You're pressing down into the mat with your hands. And just see if you can draw your hands apart. Just using that energy of drawing your hands apart, and notice where that engages in your body. Keep that up. And then release and relax. And taking that energetic resistance in the opposite direction, press into your hands. Now, draw your hands energetically together and notice the difference. Where do you feel that in your arms, your shoulders, your back, your chest? And go ahead and release, let it go. On your next inhale, moving through tabletop, tuck onto your toes, send your hips high, and walk your feet forward between your hands. Knees are generously bent, finding yourself in your first forward fold. Your chest can be draped over your knees, over your thighs. On your next inhale, root down into your feet. Arms rise, come to stand. And exhale back to a forward fold. Knees can be bent. Make sure your fingertips are touching the floor. Inhale, hands to shins. Shift into a halfway lift. Tailbone reaches back. Crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, moving through half sun salutations here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, thumbs to your chest. Eyes are closed. Maybe focusing on your intention. Maybe noticing a difference in the energy moving through your body. Moving into sun salutations. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands beside your feet. Step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Lower your right knee. Draw your heart forward. Breathe in here and exhale. Allow your hips to sink just a little bit more deeply. Make sure your left knee is tracking directly over your left ankle. Giving yourself a moment here to really soften. Take one more breath in and exhale. Straighten out that left knee. Sit your hips back. Left toes come off the mat. Maybe you walk your hands back just a little bit. Your left knee doesn't have to be all the way straight, just straighter or straight as you can get it. Inhale to a bit of a halfway lift. Crown of the head is reaching forward. Exhale, fold over that left leg. This is a half splits shape. Inhale, bend into that left knee. Walk your hands to frame that left foot. Tuck onto the right toes. Lift that right knee. Step back to your high plank. Lower onto your knees, untuck the toes. Tops of the feet are pressing down into the mat. Hug your elbows nice and tight to your side as you lower all the way down to the mat. Stacking your left hand beneath your forehead, your right hand over top. Your forehead comes down to find the back of the right hand. On your next inhale, open up, peel that right elbow off the mat, making sure your forehead is glued to the back of the right hand. And exhale, come down. Working our back body here. Inhale, lift that right elbow, open up. Exhale, come down. Where do you feel that in your body? Press your pelvis into the mat as you open up that right elbow. Exhale, come down. If you'd like to, you can lift that right elbow and also lift the left leg. 2 more times. Inhale, open and lift. Exhale, close. Last time on this side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, close. Switch the hands. Left hand stacks over top of the right. Forehead finds the back of the left hand. Inhale, peel the left elbow open and close. Maybe one side feels differently than the other. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Just a few more times on this side if you'd like to lift that right leg at the same time. Go ahead and do that. Ask yourself, what is it that you need? And take care of yourself. One more time. And come back down. Place your hands beneath your shoulders. Tuck onto your toes. Shifting briefly through tabletop. Send your hips high, downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathing out. On your next inhale, right leg rises, keeping your hips square to the mat. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose and round and cat that spine, pressing through the mat with your hand, bringing your right knee nice and close to your chest. And place your right foot between your hands. Help it along if you need to. Lower onto that left knee. Untuck that left toe. Inhale, draw your heart forward. And exhale, sinking just a little more deeply into the mat. Your right knee is directly over your right heel. Make the adjustments as you need to. Giving yourself a moment. One more breath in. And exhale, straighten that right knee. Right toes come off the mat. Walk your hands back. Inhale to a bit of a halfway lift. And exhale, fold over that right leg. On your next inhale, walk your hands forward to frame that right foot, bend into the right knee, tuck onto that left toe, but this time, your left toe, step your left foot forward, finding that forward fold. Maybe feeling a little bit more space in your hamstrings and the back of your legs, letting your head and neck go. Notice, are you holding anywhere? Are you clenching? Where is there tension? And try to let that go. On your next inhale, come to stand, arms rise. And exhale, right fingertips reaching for the floor, left arm reaching up and over, finding a standing side body stretch. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, left fingertips find, reach for the floor, right arm reaches up and over. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, left foot steps all the way to the back of the mat, keeping that left knee lifted, finding our low lunge here. Left leg is engaged, left heel is really reaching back. Taking another breath here in this low lunge, this hip opener, left palm finds the floor inside the right foot, right arm sweeps high, finding a gentle twist. Now, if you'd like, you can add those arm circles if that's what your body needs, or you're more than welcome to stay still, reaching the right fingertips for the sky. But make sure if you're taking the arm circles, you go in both directions. On your next inhale, right arm sweeps high. Exhale, right hand comes down to frame the right foot, step back into your high plank. We'll move through a vinyasa here, lower onto the knees, untuck the toes. Slowly with control, let's lower halfway down, half chaturanga. Hug your elbows into your sides. Inhale, draw your heart forward, shoulders away from the ears. This is called cobra. It's your back bend. And exhale, tuck onto your toes, send your hips high, downward facing dog. And take just a few breath rounds here. Pressing your chest towards your thighs. Putting a little bit more weight into the index finger and thumb. On your next inhale, left leg rises, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, round that back. Draw your shoulder blades away from each other. Gazes between your hands. Step that left foot forward between your hands. Low lunge on the opposite side. Sinking your hips. Again, breathing into any sensation and really accepting what you find. Accepting everything just as it is. Plant your right hand down inside the left foot. Left arm sweeps high, finding that twist. Taking your arm circles here or remaining still. There's no right or wrong. And reverse directions. Right leg is as straight as possible. Inhale, lift those left fingertips to the sky. Exhale, left hand comes down to frame the left foot. This time, step the right foot forward. Find your forward fold. Heel toe your feet a little wider than hip distance. Knees can still be bent here. Maybe they're straight, maybe they're a little bit bent. Let your head and neck hang, maybe nodding yes and no. On your next inhale, arms rise. Clasping your hands above your head, palms face the sky, side bend to the right as you exhale, and move into a forward fold as if you were drawing a circle with the palms of your hands. The palms of your hands may graze the floor, maybe they don't. And come up onto the left side and then the center. Take an inhale here and exhale, side bend to the left, tracing those circles. One more time in each direction. And allow your arms to come down by your side. Heel toe your feet in a little more closely. Palms are facing forward. Close down your eyes. This is our Tadasana, our mountain pose. So really notice, like shifting, looking for balance here. So you're shifting forward into the balls of your feet and then back into your heels. Maybe even just notice what it feels like to lift your toes off the mat and spread your toes wide. So you're pressing in evenly into all four corners of your feet. And see if you can lower your pinky toes to the mat. And then your fourth toes, your third toes, your second toes, and then your big toe. And just notice how that feels. Your knees are directly above your ankles. Your hips are directly above your knees. Your belly is hugging in and up, and your tailbone is lengthening toward the floor. Your shoulders are directly above your hips. Your palms are facing forward, fingertips reaching for the floor. Your shoulder blades are nice and flat to your back, and your head is just floating on top of your spine. How does that feel? Standing in your strength, standing in your balance, maybe giving thanks for your body. And go ahead and open your eyes. Arms rise, moving into our next sequence. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Right foot steps all the way to the back of the mat. Heel toe that left foot nice and wide. And on your next inhale, pressing down into that left heel, arms rise for a high crescent lunge. Straightening that front knee. Take another breath in here. And exhale, bend into that left knee. Goal post your arms, squeeze your shoulder blades together as you sink a little more closely to the floor. Inhale, reach. And exhale, goal post. One more time. Inhale, reach. And exhale, goal post the arms. Open up across the chest. Sink your right knee towards the floor. Inhale, back to your high crescent. Bend into that left knee. Straighten the right leg as much as possible. Exhale, hands come down to frame that left foot. Step back into your high plank pose. Lower your knees, untuck the toes. Lower halfway down. Inhale, draw your heart forward for your cobra. Maybe you straighten your elbows and lift your knees. Maybe not, whatever feels best to you. Tuck onto your toes, downward facing dog. Take just a few breath rounds here, lifting the sit bones, sinking the heels. On your next inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right knee steps through between your hands. Heel toe your right foot nice and wide, giving you a little more of a foundation of balance. Inhale, arms rise to a high crescent. Breathing in, straightening that front leg. Exhale, bend into that left knee, open up across the chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, rise, and exhale, dip. One more time, inhale, reach. Exhale, lunge, open up across the chest. Inhale, come back to center, arms rise, pinkies spiraling in towards each other. Maybe you open up your arms like you're holding a beach ball. Maybe that feels a little bit more comfortable, but bend into that front knee just a little bit more. Exhale, hands come down to frame that right foot. Step your left foot forward. Find your forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, arms come down by your sides, palms facing forward, finding your mountain pose. Putting almost all the weight into your left foot, remembering that balance between all four corners of your feet and really root down into that left foot. Preparing for a quad stretch here. So inhale your left arm high and exhale, lift that right foot. See if you can reach around and grab the outside of your right ankle or top of your right foot. Your right knee is pointing down toward the floor. Both knees are parallel. And breathe. Hugging that lower belly in and up. Hips are square to the front of the mat. And maybe you draw your tailbone toward the floor just a little bit more. Take another inhale here and exhale. Slowly, with control, release that right foot. Arms come down by your side and just kind of shake it out. Taking that quad stretch on the right side, placing most of your weight into that right foot. Remembering pressing down, rooting down into all four corners of the feet. Inhale, right arm rises. And exhale, bend into that left knee, reach around, see if you can grab the top of that left foot with the left hand. Your tailbone is reaching for the floor, your left knee is pointing toward the floor, feeling. Notice where you feel that. Do you feel that in the front of the left leg? Are you feeling wobbly in your right foot? Maybe one side feels differently than the other, remembering letting go of any sort of judgment and finding that harmony in acceptance. Breathing into anything that feels strong. And exhale, release that left foot and slowly and gently place the left foot on the floor, shake it out. We have one more sequence to go through before we cool it down. So inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, take your left foot and step all the way to the back of the mat. Heel toe that right foot nice and wide, preparing for that high crescent. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, lunge and open up into a cactus shape, opening up your heart. Inhale, reach. And exhale, sink a little lower. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, left knee taps the floor. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, hands frame that right foot. Now walking your hands to the long edge of the mat, let's parallel our feet. Our toes are pointing to the long edge of the mat. Palms are beneath your shoulders and folding, finding yourself in a wide leg forward fold. Pull up on your knees and just notice, does that shift anything in your body? Inhale, walk your hands forward directly beneath your shoulders. You're in a bit of a halfway lift shape. Place your left palm underneath your face. Right arm sweeps high, finding a twist in your wide leg forward fold. And exhale, right hand comes beneath your face. Left arm sweeps high, finding that twist. And exhale, place your hands on your hips here. Hug that belly in. Inhale, come to stand. Point your toes or bring your heels in just a little bit here. Reach your arms up and over your head, but you're reaching for where the ceiling, the walls meet the ceiling. So you're in a star-shaped pose. Take an inhale here and exhale, sink your hips. Keep your knees nice and wide, but sink your hips. You're in a goddess squat. And bend at your elbows so you have that cactus shape. Inhale, back to your star shape, straighten your legs. Exhale, bend into your knees, bend into your elbows. Open up across your heart, open up those knees. Goddess. One more time, star shape. Inhale, exhale, sit down into goddess. Inhale to star. Exhale, place your hands on your hips. Parallel your feet. Bend and hinge at the hips. Find your wide leg forward fold. Hands find the floor. And breathe. Walk your hands to the top of the mat. Pivot your toes toward the top of the mat. Find yourself in that low lunge. Step back into plank pose. Shifting forward, lower your knees. Find that half chaturanga. Draw your heart forward for your back bend. Cobra or maybe up dog. Tuck onto your toes, finding your downward facing dog. And take a few breath rounds here. On your next inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, knee to nose, gaze between the hands. Step your left foot forward, help it along if you need to. Heel toe that left foot wide. Arms rise, high crescent. Take those dips. Cactus shape your arms as you exhale. Inhale to rise. Exhale to dip. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands come down to frame that left foot. Step your right foot forward. Find your forward fold. Let it go. Heel toe your feet as wide as the mat. Maybe your toes are pointing out just a little bit. And slowly, with control, sink your hips down towards the mat. See if you can take your elbows inside your thighs, palms together, thumbs at your heart. Awesome job. Really beautiful. Now energetically create a little bit of resistance here. Pressing your elbows into your thighs. You're lifting your chest. And press your thighs into your elbows, so you're creating that resistance, building strength. Take your left hand behind you, find the floor behind your hips, so take your right hand behind you and just gently lower down to a seated shape. Extend your legs long in front of you. Starting our cool down. Inhale, arms rise, back is flat. Exhale, float your hands down beside your knees and hinge forward at your hips, finding a seated forward fold. Your feet are flexed. Maybe you have a little bend in your knees, maybe not, whatever feels best to you. Walk your hands forward, and once you can't hinge anymore, just fold over your legs. Let it go. On your next inhale, crown of the head grows tall. You hug your right knee nice and tight into your chest, continuing to sit nice and tall. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Your right fingertips come behind you, using it almost as a kickstand. Left arm sweeps high. Take a breath in. And breathe out, using your left elbow to hug your right knee. Find your twist. Take another breath here. And exhale, twist just a little more deeply. And release. Slowly, gently, take your right leg long and just shake it out. Sitting tall. Bring your left knee into your chest, nice and tight. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Left fingertips use as a kickstand. Right arm sweeps high. Take an inhale here. And exhale, hug that left knee with the right arm. Twisting just a little bit more deeply. As you breathe in and breathe out, notice, where do you feel that? And go ahead and release. Extend the left leg long. Bend into both knees. Place your feet flat on the floor. Reach your arms forward. And slowly, with control, lower all the way down to the mat. Shimmy your shoulder blades nice and flat to the mat. Your arms are down by your side, palms facing down. And bring your heels nice and close to your sit bones. Taking a few bridge variations here. You're pressing the back of your head firmly into the mat. Your shoulders, you're pressing your shoulders into the mat. Your triceps into the mat. Press your lower back into the mat. And as you inhale, lift your hips. Your knees are not splaying out. Your knees are hugging together, even though they're hip distance apart. Your tailbone is reaching for the back of the room. Maybe you shimmy one shoulder underneath your chest and then the other, clasping your hands beneath your hips, pressing that clasp into the mat, lifting your hips even more. You're pressing the back of the head into the mat. Your chest is chasing your chin. Your chin is not tucking down into your chest. This protects your neck. Take one more breath here. Press into your heels. Maybe gain just a little bit more height here. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Heel toe your feet as wide as the mat. Take your arms into a cactus shape and let's windshield wiper our knees off to the right. And then back to center, off to the left. Come back to center. Do that one more time in each direction. Maybe you'd like to move a little more quickly. Maybe a little more slowly. Just make sure you even up the movement. And back to center. Keeping your feet as wide as the mat. Your toes, your feet are parallel. Arms are back down by your side. Take an inhale here. Press your back, your lower back nice and firmly into the mat. Lift your heels. This is a more of a wide leg bridge variation. And notice, how does that feel different in your body? Take one more deep breath here. And exhale, slowly lower. Hug your knees wide of your chest. And maybe take a little rock side to side. We have one more bridge variation. And this time, bring the soles of your feet together. Knees open up wide. Arms are down by your side. You're pressing the back of your head into the mat. You're pressing your lower back into the mat. You're pressing the outer edges of your feet into the mat and lift your hips. Maybe it's just a few inches. Finding that bridge shape, that bridge variation with butterfly legs. And slowly lower back down. Bring your knees back together. Extend both legs long. Arms up over your head. Clasp your hands above your head. And take that clasp a few inches off to the right. Take your right heel a few inches off to the right. And then see if you can cross your left ankle over your right, finding a supine side bend, breathing into that left side body. Arms and legs are straight, really accentuating this shape, C shape or banana shape. Take a few breaths. And go ahead and release that left leg back to center, the right leg back to center, that clasp above your head back to center. Release the clasp and take that clasp but in an awkward way, in the way that doesn't feel so natural. Taking that clasp a few inches off to the left, and take your left heel a few inches off to the left. And cross your right ankle over your left. Breathing into that right side body. Give yourself a moment. Release that right ankle to the center, that right heel to the center, the left heel to the center. That clasp that's above your head, go ahead and bring that back to center. And allow your arms to float back into a cactus shape. The backs of your hands are on the floor, your elbows, your shoulders. Hug your right knee into your chest, nice and tight. Your left thigh is pressing toward the floor. Your left foot is flexed, preparing for a supine twist. So goal post your right arm. You're pressing your right shoulder into the mat as you guide your right knee across your body using your left hand. Your gaze is to the right. Maybe you pull your belly in and up just to protect that lower back. And notice, it's always so interesting, where are you clenching? Are you clenching? Are you holding? Release that space. Breathing into any areas that feel sensitive. Inhale, come back to center. Hug that right knee nice and tight. Extend the right leg long. Hug your left knee into your chest. Goal post that left arm. Draw your left knee across your body with or without your right hand. Gaze is to the left. You're reaching your left shoulder toward the mat. And breathe. Inhale, come back to center. Hug that left knee nice and tight to your chest. Bring your right knee tight to your chest. Open your knees a little wider. Reach between your knees to the outer edges of your feet, and the soles of your feet reach for the sky. And just rock side to side. This is our final posture before our resting pose, Shavasana, and just rocking side to side. Maybe you prefer stillness. Breathing in, breathing out. And go ahead and release your happy baby. Extend your left leg long. Your left heel can reach toward the left edge of your mat. Your right leg reaches for the right edge of your mat. Your arms are down by your side. Your shoulder blades are nice and flat to the mat. Go ahead and close your eyes. Start to notice how your body feels after all that work. Unfurrow your brow. Start to allow your eyes to sink more deeply into their sockets. Release your jaw. Allow your arms and legs to get nice and heavy. Feel the earth below you. Know that the sky is above you. And let there be peace within you. Take your rest. bring some movements back to your fingers and your toes. And keeping your eyes closed, roll over onto your right side, drawing your knees towards your chest, using your right arm as a pillow. And when you're ready, press yourself up into a comfortable seat. Maybe it's legs crossed, maybe it's butterfly shape. Palms together at your heart, thumbs touching your chest, chin bowed. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. It is an honor to be your teacher. Open up, let go, and shine bright. Namaste.